I once was an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow to the knee. What's going on, YouTube? WildLion Games here, and we are back with another honest review. And I know it's not sports or sports related, but don't leave. Just trust me on this one. I know my channel's basically just sports gaming, but this particular title stood out to me so much so that I had to do a review on it and spread the word. I literally just learned about this game a few weeks ago, about a week before it came out. I was sitting at home watching TV. My boy Nathan texted me. He's like, "Yo, dude, Chivalry 2 open beta ends tonight. Hop on and play." I was like, okay, let me download it real fast. So I did. I didn't even know what it was, but I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play some games with my boy, right? So I hop on pretty late for my standards, like 10 o'clock at night. Anyways, I accidentally stayed on for like 3 or 4 hours and had to force myself to go to bed so I didn't die at work on Monday. But that was the beta. So much fun, and I instantly knew I wanted to buy it. But enough about that. Enough about the beta. Now that I've actually bought the game, sunken in some real hours into it, let's see if it's actually any good or if the honeymoon phase wore off. The good. We'll start with graphics here. I briefly played this game on PC, but refunded it for various reasons I'm not really going to get into. It's not important to the review, but I wanted to really, I wanted to play on the couch. And also the game kept crashing because of my RGB lights, and I'm not like 100% computer savvy enough to figure out how to fix that. So, I refunded it and got it on Xbox One. So I did my review from Xbox One. There are a few PC clips in here, and as you can see, the PC version of the game looks incredible. The amount of dead bodies that litter the ground during battle is amazing. And on the console version, the game looks really good too. It definitely holds its own. Nothing compared to PC, but that being said, on the Xbox One, the game has good color. The maps can sometimes feel a little flat, but overall it's a good experience. I didn't really experience any graphical glitches. I do miss that 60 frames per second though. In the end, I decided that graphics weren't as important to me as playing with my friends on Xbox. So I'm glad I switched over to Xbox. I did have some issues with the game freezing up on me a few times when too many players were in one spot. Especially on PC, and that actually even swayed me to go in the direction of Xbox as well. I only experienced one crash in my 8 hours of playing on the Xbox One, and I experienced 3 in my 1 hour on PC. Now, this being said, this is like when I was playing on PC, this is like day 1 or 2 of the release. So some of those bugs could have been patched already. My experience playing on PC stopped after about 2 days of release. Only played about an hour. And then I refunded it and got it on Xbox because the cross-platform party play has not been activated yet. That is coming though. But PC looks great. My settings were on high with the body count as high as possible, which is probably why I was having issues. But nonetheless, it looks great. And on console, you can see by the gameplay here, it looks good too. Graphics sections, I don't really keep that long because you can kind of see what it looks like yourself. Yeah, the details are a bit muddier and the colors they're not as vibrant, but it doesn't take away from that experience of the game. For a 32v32 medieval battle game, it looks great. Let's jump into gameplay, man. Where do I even begin? Everything here makes sense. The controls feel natural, the gameplay is fluid, the characters are reactive, and the actions happen in a timely manner without hiccup or delay. The differentiation between various warrior classes when it comes to speed and strength is barely noticeable, and I mean that in a good way. A lot of times with these fighting games, and you have different character classes with, one character is not as strong but super quick, and then the other one's like a giant brute and who can, do half your damage in one swing, but it takes him 4 seconds to swing his axe around. You know what I mean? So the speed at which a character swings his sword can be vastly different between classes, and that ultimately grants a heavy favorite towards a certain class, or players kind of find these little cheats within the mechanics of a game to give themselves an advantage. But I find that in Chivalry 2 they do a great job of balancing the various classes and making that gap in skill rating between the different classes a bit tighter, which ultimately means it's up to the user's stick skill to give him the slight edge based on his character that he's using. Before I continue though, let's talk about some of this goofy stuff. I love that you can just pick up random objects in the game and use them as weapons. Find a pile of horse crap, pick it up and throw it at your opponent. Don't like chickens? Throw a chicken. You can even go all Captain America and throw your shield, and it doesn't end there. The creativity of the developers here is awesome. And although, throwing a chicken or a head of lettuce isn't going to kill your opponent, it's fun to mess around and just being able to interact with the world during the game. I think it provides a lot of depth. Back to the more serious side of things with the controls. You use the right trigger to slash, the left trigger is to block, and then you also use the right bumper to stab, and the left bumper is to slash in like a downwards motion. And then you use the right thumbstick to rotate your character and get various angles on your different weapon strikes. It seems weird at first, but doing it a few times, you start to see how much sense this makes using that right thumbstick, and it's going to give you so much control over how you swing your weapon and giving you more direction with it. And everybody hates on archers, but honestly, grow up, man. They have archers for a reason, the same way that we have snipers today. It's a help and support from afar. Playing as an archer is fun too. I like it. It's challenging. It can also be rewarding when you finally hit that target from far away. But for me, battling it out in the trenches amongst all the chaos is where the game truly shines. Archers, I don't feel like they got the same treatment that the warrior, your warrior class did, but it works and it's fun, it's challenging, and I like it. It's fun, but yeah, for me, it's all about getting in the trenches. There is one thing to note, that this game can be utter chaos at times. If you can't tell, there's not a lot of 1v1 battles, not a lot of 1v2 or 2v2, and you're gonna find yourself surrounded by 4+ enemies a number of times. But that's the nature of the beast, though, right? Because everybody wants to get that kill. Everybody wants the points for the kill. You're gonna see two of your teammates ganging up on one guy, and you're gonna run in there and try and get a swing and get some points for hitting them, right? That's just how it is. Good luck getting a positive KD in this game unless you're like really good, and be prepared to die a lot. Even if you are really good, you're gonna get outnumbered. You're gonna have some awesome heroic moments, and then you're also gonna have some silly ones. The game isn't easy to be great at, but for some reason, even though I spend a lot of time getting killed, it is just an absolute blast to play. I love the map selection in Chivalry 2. They provide great variety and experiences throughout all 8 maps with varying objectives for each one. I partnered up with a teammate and we loaded the catapult to launch rocks at the castle gates. I've helped push the siege ramp to attack a castle. I've even thrown torches at tents to destroy the town square. I've slaughtered peasants in Coxwell, robbed gold from the church and taken it back to our cards. And I even got a few shots on the king, who, by the way, is played by a real player. And that's pretty cool too. You do what you have to do in these games to win, and every map provides something different, not only with the objectives, but the landscape and strategy. It's a new game on every map, and I think that's what makes Chivalry 2 so exciting. You're not just doing the same thing in different environments over and over and over again. There are a few team deathmatch and free-for-all maps that take place on a battlefield, another one's in a gladiator arena, and that one is super fast-paced. And then there's another one called Tournament Grounds, which is, if you've ever seen jousting, it's kind of like in one of those situations. Everybody kind of like funnels to the middle. All the archers kind of get up to the sides and shoot their arrows down. And there is a 9th map coming soon. Can't wait to see what they do, along with all the other future updates that are also coming for free, as told by the developers. Also in the good, we have character customization within your classes. You can customize your character for archer, vanguard, footman, or even knight, and you can change how they look based on what kind of mode you're in, whether you're in free-for-all or you're fighting for the Mason team or the Agatha team. Super cool, and you can go into everything from head type, eye color, hair color, the type of hairstyle that you have, the skin tone. And what's crazy about this game is half the time you're not even going to see your character's head because he's going to be wearing a helmet, but it's there if you want it. You can also customize the clothing, the type of patches that are on your jacket, the shield patches, the type of swords and weaponry. And you can do this for every class. It's truly awesome. Truly awesome. I love the character customization in this game. Love being able to choose my haircut and eye color. Whether you got a big beard, you have different war paint, options that you can put, scars that you can put on your player. There's just so many different options, helmet types, different armor types for the archer, different armored sets, what kind of, it's just, the character customization is above and beyond what it needs to be, and for that I have to put it in the good because they really did a good job here. Let's talk about sound. The sound, well, first just listen.
Oh, gramercy!
I mean, tell me that doesn't sound like you're in the middle of a medieval battle. Like, it sounds like you're right there in the action. And I really do think that's what sells it because, sometimes the animations can look a little weird. The graphics are good, but they're not spectacular. But I really do believe the sound is what puts this game over the edge. The sound design's amazing, from the steel clashing with swords and axes, or maybe it's the steel hitting against the wood of a shield. And also just your character battle crying, running through the fields. You hear all of it, and then just the disgusting, gross sounds of, getting stabbed, getting your arm chopped off, getting decapitated. I mean, all the sounds are just across the board. The game sounds really good. One of the other things I like is the narrator of the tutorial.
Some enemies are cowards, and they try to defend themselves. You've got two options with a turtle. Go around the block, or go through it.
Funny dude. Has that just like classic deep voice. You can almost picture the guy as he's narrating this tutorial. He's probably barrel-chested, bald, has a big beard, something along those lines. He's been in battle 100 times and is like an epic warrior. He'll drink you under the table at the town hall later on that night. You can picture this dude doing the narration. So whoever they cast for that is the voiceover. Bravo to him, and bravo to the team for selecting him. But yeah, I love the you can taunt other players, you can talk with emotes, you can do the battle cry. So even just that extra stuff outside of the game sounds are just really, really special. And the sound's really good in this game. The bad. No single player. And I know some people are gonna sit here and be like, oh well, not every game needs single player, and why don't focus on single player if it's not going to be good? And I agree, but I think it is kind of disappointing that there isn't a campaign of some sort. Even something like Age of Empires or Civilization, where you can do those like short campaigns for each faction. They only take a couple hours. I think even something like that, just to kind of learn the game and have get into more of the story between the two factions. I'm usually against games that only do multiplayer, and I've stated that before, but I mean, this game is a lot of fun, so it's hard to be mad at it. There is a mode with like AI bots, which is basically just the same experience as multiplayer, where you have the 20v20 and 32 versus 32, but it's just AI instead of actual players. So I mean, if you want to jump in there and feel like a badass, then yeah, that's definitely the mode for you, because you can just go ham on all the bots. But yeah, it is. I do wish that there was some sort of storyline in the game that you could experience, something other than the big multiplayer is what I'm getting at here. Animations can sometimes look a little funny, especially when a ton of players are bunched up and you see guys like jumping and stuff like that, and they can look a little silly, but it's not game breaking. And even though visually sometimes it looks a little ridiculous and it can kind of take you out of the environment, just kind of like how the characters will move, it doesn't take away from the fun factor. I do wish it could be cleaned up and they're not all over the place, but it's not the end of the world. The ugly. I haven't really found anything truly bad and ugly in this game. The servers seem to be good, performance is good, and for the most part, everything seems to be pretty fair, and I rarely feel cheated out of a kill or like another player cheated to kill me. So I don't have anything in this section. Final verdict. Alright, so what do I rate this game? I rate Chivalry 2, Game of Thrones, Season 6, Episode 9. Battle of the Bastards. Chivalry 2 makes you feel like you are taking a part of an epic medieval battle of the ages. Just like Battle of the Bastards, it's epic, it's chaotic, it's intense, and at times it just feels like you're drowning in a sea of enemies only to be saved by a teammate at the last second. I love Chivalry 2. From the moment I played the open beta, I knew this would be a buy because I haven't had this much fun in a multiplayer game in a long time. The maps are exciting and different, the gameplay is tough but rewarding, and most of all, it's just exciting to play over and over and over and over again. Plus, with a price tag of $39.99, it is a hell of a deal. $40 for this game with more $40 for this game with more maps on the way and horses in a future update, all for free. It doesn't make sense why you don't buy this game. It is the most epic medieval game available to play, just like Battle of the Bastards is the most epic medieval battle that exists in movie, TV show, cartoon history. You can't argue with me on that. Battle of the Bastards is the most epic episode when it comes. It is the greatest medieval battle I have ever seen on television. And Chivalry 2 is the most epic medieval battle video game available that you can play. And if you're looking to be submerged in that world, your search ends here. I highly recommend this game. It's a blast. It's super addictive. It has just these natural, almost like cinematic moments that just happen because of the nature of the game. So, yeah, I love it, man. Anyways, that's it for me. Hope y'all enjoyed the review. It took me a while to get this one out. Been busy, but yeah, hope y'all enjoyed the review. Hope it helps you make a decision on whether you want to purchase or not. And being able to see the PC versus console graphics and what it looks like, maybe that'll help if you're kind of on the fence between what platform you should get it on. That being said, yeah, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content, hit that subscribe button. I will catch y'all later. Peace.